It was raining, and the train station echoed with hurried footsteps and distant announcements. Amid the noise and chaos stood a young woman clutching a crying toddler to her chest, her coat soaked, her hair clinging to her forehead. The world moved around her, but for her, time had stopped. With trembling fingers, she held out a few crumpled bills to the ticket agent, her voice breaking as she whispered, "I'm sorry, I can't pay." That woman was Lena Carter, a 27-year-old single mother who had lost everything in the past year, her job, her home, and nearly her will to fight. Behind her gentle eyes were sleepless nights, skipped meals, and silent tears. Her son, Eli, just 3 years old, had been sick all week. Lena had spent her last dollars on his medicine, and hadn't eaten since yesterday. The ticket agent, cold and indifferent, didn't even look her in the eye. "Next," he muttered. She stepped aside, trying to hush Eli as he coughed against her shoulder. She sat on a wooden bench in the corner of the platform, staring at the flickering schedule board. She needed to get to Brookfield, where a distant cousin had offered her a place to stay and possibly a job. But she was $18 short for the fare. And no one cared. Or so she thought. A man sitting a few seats away had been watching the whole scene quietly. He wore a plain hoodie and jeans, carried no suitcase, just a leather satchel across his chest. He stood, walked over slowly, and sat beside her without a word. Lena stiffened, hugging Eli tighter. After a long pause, he gently said, "Is your son okay?" She turned her tired eyes to him, and nodded slightly. "He's just tired. We both are." He looked at the boy and then at her. "I couldn't help but hear, you said you can't pay for the train." She hesitated before nodding again, shame burning in her cheeks. "I might be able to help," he said softly. "No," Lena said quickly. "I'm not asking for anything. I just—" She stopped, realizing she was too exhausted to even finish her sentence. "I understand," the man said. "But let me help anyway." He walked up to the counter and paid for 2 tickets, 1 adult, 1 child, to Brookfield. Lena stared in disbelief as he returned with the paper slips. "I can't take this," she said, shaking her head. "You already have," he smiled. She finally looked at him properly. He didn't look rich. He didn't have the air of someone trying to impress. There was something different, calm, grounded, almost familiar. "I don't know how to thank you," she whispered. "You already did," he replied. They sat in silence for a few minutes until she asked, "What's your name?" He hesitated. "Matt." She smiled for the first time that day. "I'm Lena. And this is Eli." As the train arrived, Matt offered to help her carry her small backpack. On board, they sat across from each other. The motion of the train soothed Eli to sleep in his mother's arms. She looked out the window for a while, then back at Matt. "What do you do?" she asked.